Hi, this is Michael. I want to talk to you. Like there's all this fixation on Trump right now, and throughout this whole election, Trump, 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 dump Trump, stop Trump. But what is that? What is behind that desire? What is behind that desire is the projection of one's self-hatred. We don't feel good enough about who we are, and we don't want to feel that pain, so we want to blame somebody else and project them as the cause of our own suffering. The suffering that we give up to ourselves, that we're not good enough. So if we try to Stop Trump is about defeating the projection of one's self-hatred. And if you try to defeat the projection, in order to defeat the projection you have, in order to defeat the self-hatred that you have from within, that will never work. And that's what this whole election, this circus is all about, is defeating the projection of one's self-hatred. Now, if you try to defeat the projection of your self-hatred in Trump, what are you saying? You're admitting, if you project self-hatred, you admit that you have self-hatred. You admit that you are not good enough. So even if we stop Trump, it will do absolutely nothing. It actually will cause more harm because you are confirming that you hate yourself. That's what Trump is all about. It is the scapegoat to your self-hatred, and the establishment, as you're fixating on Trump, will do whatever they want, and you will know no difference. And so I watched this movie yesterday, Doctor Strange. It's like a Marvel comic movie, and it really reminds me of every single movie, almost every single movie that we watch, especially action movies. It's always about the fight between good and evil. Always. Now, what is that fight about, good and evil? It is about fighting the projection of your self-hatred, fighting the projection of the evil that you inflict on yourself. So we don't have to feel our own pain of how much we hate ourselves. And I'm not saying that this is only true for Hillary supporters. This is true for anybody. Bernie supporters, Jill supporters, movement supporters. They do it. Hillary supporters do this in this election. But we do this in other areas in our life. I do this for myself. You know? I suffer through self-hatred. I feel like I'm not good enough. And I feel like I need to get this right. I need to do this the way I want to in order to feel good about who I am. And so I understand, I empathize with what's happening in this election. But you see, they're fully trying to project all the hatred, all the evil from within onto another person. And that's never the case. The evil that you see in another person is the evil that is within yourself. It's never about if it's completely about the other person, if you completely say, oh my God, Trump is so misogynistic, racist, he's horrible, he's the next Hitler, you are completely projecting. There's no way that you can see evil in another person and have that be true for you. As much as I hate the fear that in the ego that the establishment uses to control us, as much as I hate how Hillary victimizes people and uses fear, I understand that I'm as much as part of that. I project. I let feelings that I'm not good enough control my life. So there's no way that you can dump this all in one person. And if you do that, you're fighting your own projection. You're fighting your own reflection. So you're losing no matter what. You are confirming that you hate yourself. So if we stop Trump, everybody loses. Everybody. Because it admits to yourself that you hate yourself, that you are incomplete. So as much as, we care about, I love all these issues about healthcare, North Dakota Access Pipeline. But one thing we got to remember is the seed of all this, the seed of all the inequality is the ego. That's the issue that branches off and creates all this inequality, all this corruption, all this greed, and then all this manipulation. Why, if you want to be successful in this movement, we got to think about, why do people support Hillary? Why do people do not take action? It's because of the ego. It's a manipulation of the ego from within that we don't feel good enough. So I want everybody just to tell yourself, no matter what you're doing, don't do something to make yourself feel good about yourself. Know that before you do anything, you're already good enough, no matter what. And nothing can take that away from you. So every moment of your life, you tell yourself, I'm good enough. I'm good enough. You're not doing something to feel good enough. And you're not projecting that self-hatred onto somebody. Stop scapegoating Trump, because that's only going to be the cause of your suffering. I promise you that. Because there is all this corruption, greed, and inequality. It's so much more horrific than what is happening with Trump. If you look at Trump, you're ignoring the true suffering. And that is how the ego wins. So remember that you are enough, that we are enough, and projection is the name of the game. That's what causes the suffering of our world and of our lives. Let's not project. Let's not project onto Trump. It's not about Trump at all. Don't fall for the bait and switch. Don't fall for any of that. Thank you, everybody.